Welcome, guys. I hope you guys can hear me. This is our second live event we're going to be doing for financial freedom. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. Make sure my mic is on, make sure the sound is good. All right, guys, we're also going to have a special guest today, so we will get him on shortly. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, so we got some people in here. We got Jessica, Lady Shady saying sounds good. Tim C. Johnson. Hey Tim, what's going on, buddy? Alex is here. How you guys doing tonight? I'm gonna try to improve this live today a little bit better. First off, we're gonna recap on what our mission statement was, is to just help each other out, financially, become free of all our burns, our debt, hopefully improve our credit score, and so on. Last week was my first time doing a live stream, so I didn't have a lot of practice. I didn't have lot of tools. So, quick shout outs to a few people that really helped me out: Jordan, Tim, Carlos, Marco. Um, we spent a whole bunch of time with Kevin Rogers right now, getting me prep for this. So I just want to say that first and foremost, thank you so much. Second, well, we're gonna go because I messed up last week. I am gonna recover on my fumble. I'm gonna answer all the comments from last week that stood out, other than hello and highs. So we're gonna go with that. One of my perks that I did realize last week, I was doing a lot of ums. I'm gonna try not to do a lot of ums today, guys. So if you see that, help me out. Let me know. All right, we got Lucky Ram. Mr. Ram, what's going on? We got the self-employed tax guy in here. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you here. All right, guys. So let's get it started. Let's kick off with the last week's captions. I'm gonna put it up here as you guys can see it with me. Vinny had said, I've been tenting for 23 years, opened my shop 3 years ago, 2 weeks before COVID hit. Not good timing. If you had everything prepped up right, you had good saving, you had planned out for at least 6 months or so, it shouldn't have made that big of an issue. If you did, this is exactly what we need to discuss today, how to better improve ourselves on that. In fact, it happened to me. I sold my business, one of my businesses, and invested into my retail, rebranded everything. December, we finalized everything. January 1st was our kickoff day. Well, January 2nd was our kickoff day. And guess what? March, COVID officially hit. We were closed 3 times that year. A lot of hurdle on the finances, but because we were prepared and we were ready for our financials, we are still there today and we're growing every day. In fact, we just spent $200,000 worth investing into new equipment. Part of it got installed. We will do some videos on that next week, hopefully. But anyways, we're gonna keep it moving and keep it quick. Carlos had mentioned, what's the most common mistake you encounter with others in finances? A lot of people have ideas of their finances. A lot of people don't have the details and they don't write stuff down. So that's one of our major workshop we're going to do today. We're going to use Google Sheets to do a quick self expense sheet and keeping ourselves checked and balancing out. So if you guys are not logged into your Google, I suggest you guys go ahead and log in, and we will kind of go at it all together. I use Office, but I'm gonna use Google Sheets today to kind of help you guys out. They're very similar. Google Sheets is free, so for personal expenses, I say go with that. All right, we got Alex that says, "Do you have any tips for somebody trying to build credit with little to no previous credit history?" Definitely, we're gonna hit those points. We're gonna, hit points about redoing it. Look, we got Jordan, Mr. Shady J online, so I'm going to bring him in, guys. Please welcome Jordan. I'm
What's up, everybody? Can
next
you hear me good?
Jordan. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. Jordan
Cool,
actually has a connection. Guys, welcome Jordan.
Let's
He
go.
has his own little short show called the Dark Truth Podcast with Johnny Blades. I believe, Jordan, you guys host that on Wednesdays, right?
Wednesdays, yes, on Facebook. I've been in the past making an event and then doing the live from the event, and it's not as successful as if I just do it from my personal page. So I'm gonna start just doing it from my personal page. I don't know if I'm making the settings different or what's going on with it, but we just get less people bullshitting with us, whenever I do it from an event page. So there's that.
Okay.
But yeah,
well, you let me know how that goes. Hopefully we can make it better for myself as well too, because I'm still struggling with that. I spent like Kevin Rogers helped me out for a couple hours. I know you and me, we were discussing some stuff. I had Tim, I had Marcos who got me on the restream so we can be on multiple channels. Thank you, Marcos, for that. So, those are some of the things. So I'm catching up on my last week's stream because I missed all the comments last week. I'm going to try not to miss those today. We got we still have
if you need help, I can try
on my screen. I'm not sure how many you got.
I have no idea. I can't even see on here, honestly.
All right. So as people come in, we'll address them and we'll welcome them, and hopefully we can accomplish some stuff. So I'm gonna take the next couple of minutes, just kind of go over some of the comments. These are in no order. I just wrote them down and I'm just gonna put them out there. So I'm gonna skip the names. I'm just gonna go right to the comments now, since we got the name that's already on the screen. You guys can see it. Is there a general formula you suggest to use when pricing services? I have a formula I use. I use spreadsheets for that as well. If you get time, we'll share that. If not, you want to get on with me one-on-one, guys. This is me just trying to help people out. If anybody needs extra help or they don't want to be on the show, you're more than welcome to contact me. Whenever I have free time, I will get with you and we will, get things straight. Hopefully guide you guys to the right track. Next comment I had was...
I'll definitely vouch for that because he's talked to me a few times off camera and on the phone about some things, so he'll definitely talk to you. So
I appreciate that, Jordan. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Anytime.
All right. Will you provide a basic budget spreadsheet for your personal income for your followers? That's exactly what we're going to do today. Marco had great points last week, so I want to make sure I don't miss those. Some of those we're going to try to address this time. We're going to set ourselves some goals for the future streams so we can hit everything more accurately. We will try every week to recap what we did last week as well. So just in case somebody missed it or somebody wants to get a quick recap, we'll do a quick recap kind of like this, but maybe a little bit faster. All right, going on to the next. Shop owners and managers need to know their daily minimum to run the business. That is so true. That's also true for you guys on your personal, guys. That's why we're going to try to help ourselves and put things in perspective, put things in writing, and use some kind of tool to make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable for it. Next one. Thank you, Cash, for putting yourself out there doing this. People need to know this. Nobody is talking about this. That is exactly why I'm doing this, because I did not see anybody talking about this. I know it's a hard topic. Some people don't want to face it. Some people don't want to talk about it. Jordan had surprisingly accepted my invitation to come on today, man. I am so pleased to have you on here, Jordan. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say that.
You're welcome, man.
All right. Next comment we got. Can you show everyone an example of a basic budget? That's exactly what we're going to hit today, guys. All right. Moving on. Each week, different topic. Share your screen. Show on a spreadsheet or other tools. As we find more tools and you guys want to use more tools, I will research into it. If I used it, I'm going to get on it. If I have not used it, I will ask for community help, and hopefully you guys can each learn each other. I'm not only here to teach, but I'm also here to learn as well. One thing I will tell anybody and everybody is never stop learning. If you never stop learning, you'll never stop growing, because you'll grow consistently if you keep learning. If you say I know everything, man, you shut yourself right there and you lower your bars and you kind of put a chain on yourself. So don't do that. Keep learning. If somebody has a different point of view, listen to them, man. You don't have to agree
Yep.
with them. Just listen to
Yep.
them, think it over. Eventually, it may make sense to you, it may not. But never say, "Hey, I know everything." Never stop
Right.
learning, man. That's one thing I've learned.
Right. Or one day you'll actually listen and you'll go, damn, I've just been hard headed this whole time. I've done that before.
Give
Like
me
a
a
lot
prime
of my
example.
friends were right. Like where I used to work, I was just like, man, it's a job. Like my friends were all like, dude, you need to leave that place. And I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm good. Then the day I left, I was like, now I get it. I was like, it makes sense now. And then so maybe like most of the time it takes that initial leap and you're like, what am I doing? But then you realize the move I can make. Like
Exactly.
decision, because if
One thing
not,
I
I'd
would
be
say everybody
miserable.
can relate
You know
to
what I mean?
is you never listened to your parents when you were young, but as you become parents or as you grow up, you're like, damn, man, I should have listened to my
Facts.
mom on this, or I should have listened to my dad on this.
Right.
Same thing with employment, same thing with financials, with everything, man. It can all relate. So keep
Yep.
learning, keep growing. Next comment we had on there was, when I started upping my price, I got busier and better clients. That is
Yep.
so true, man. If you
Very
are
true.
cutting the price, you're gonna get that bottom end customer, and bottom end customers sometimes will give you more problems than they bring in. So you
Definitely,
gotta
because they think that that little amount of money is worth more than it is. You know what I mean? Like I get it's in their budget, but also it's minuscule in comparison to other people that pay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those people that, it's like the old saying goes, it's like a $50 car wash as opposed to a $300 detail. Like you get what you get, and then the people that wanted the $50 detail, they're gonna complain that it wasn't done properly. It's like, it's a $50 job, man. Like I just did one for $350 over here, and I did the best that I could do because it was a higher paying job.
right.
And
I
that's
mean,
some
it's,
things
it's,
that
it's just like
I
10
deal
right
with
now.
too.
You
Right.
want the Super Ceramic XR Plus benefits, but you want to pay for the CS 10.
Exactly.
They both look the same. Yeah, they both look the same, but they don't perform the same.
Well, they kind of look the same,
You
but yeah.
can get it. You can get in a Corolla and you can get in a 5 Series. They're both 4 doors, but
Right.
I can buy 3 Corollas for the price of that one 5 Series.
Exactly. It's all on the quality of the purchase.
So all right. Next one we had was, it's always easy. I'm sorry. I've always easily been able to work harder. The smarter part has been the difficult. So Ryan is talking about, last week we talked about, hey,
Yeah.
you've heard the
I
saying
get that.
that work smarter, not harder. My thing was, why not we do both? Why don't we work
Right.
harder but also smarter to make ourselves move fast, better? So if you're working harder, this is what you're kind of doing. If you're working smarter, you're kind of going like this. But if you do smarter and harder, this is where you can get to. Eventually, what you want to do is you want to kind of go like
Right.
that, man. You want to get up to that, take that almost 90-degree going upwards. So
yeah, the yin and yang of it at the same time. I mean, like both the good and the bad of it, because that's what everything has. You know what I'm saying? Like two sides to a coin. Same thing. Like you're gonna have the good and the bad, the heads, the tails. Like you gotta figure out the balance, man. You gotta figure out the balance.
All right, next one we got. I just got my first American Express. I just want to say congratulations. That is a big step.
Yeah, that's
It was
awesome.
a big step for me. So anybody that gets the American Express, you're going in the right track.
Yep.
All right. A lot of us are just big kids out here, great at tenting, but not so much on financial planning. Guys, that happens to a lot of us. It takes a lot of pride to actually come out and admit it, or take some help. I know I've been through a lot of that personally. That's the reason I'm gonna come out every week and put myself out here. Again, this is not a personal gain for me. I don't get anything out of this. I'm actually spending my own money to do this stuff and other things that come with it. So I'm just looking to help out, guys, man. And if anybody else wants to join in, man, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. Just like Jordan, come on. I can host 10 people at one time, man.
I'll send you the link right now. I got it copied. I'll send you the link right now. Hop in here with us. Talk some finances, man. Something I know nothing about. I'm trying to learn.
All right, now we got some Shady J comments here, man.
Look at there.
Truly good shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
It is, though. It's good shit. Like, I don't understand it. It's still good, though.
I mean, see, look, I don't expect anybody to understand it right off the top, guys. That's the whole thing. Like when you're learning, you know,
Right.
just like when you learn window tinting or when you're doing PPF, whatever you're doing, I don't care if you're changing tires, whatever you're doing, you're not gonna be. I mean, let's just talk about life. Okay, did you come out of your mom and start running? No, man, it took you to
No,
crawl,
fuck no.
walk, and then run. You know, and that's
I
the same
mean, I
thing with
don't
anything
know.
you do. You don't understand finances? Let's get to a point where we can start crawling and then we can walk and then eventually we can run off and be like, damn, man, I got this, I got a handle on it. Who else can I help out? You know, how can I pay this forward? That's the movement we
Right.
need to be on.
And see, that's why I love that me and you already talked a little bit about credit cards, because I told you a little bit of my backstory about how I have no credit and like where do I go from here. We talked about that a little bit.
So Shady asked me to be on
Oh yeah, you
one
need to
of
be
his
on our show
shows.
too.
I beat him to it. I got him on my show.
Yeah, you
I like that comment,
bamboozled me,
man.
bro. Pulled the
I just
sheet
wanted to
out from
share it.
under me.
All right. Next one
Love
was
it.
I inquire about this at the shop sometimes, but feel bad. So Shady,
Because it's really not my business. You know what I'm saying? Like I shouldn't know about exactly how they do things because I'm just the installer, right? Because it's not my liability. So it's like being nosy to me, bro. Like that's the only thing. I want to see us succeed is the main reason I want to ask, but I don't want to ask because it's none of my business. You know what I mean? In a
yeah, but
way.
sometimes you need to just understand it. You know, sometimes the so my teacher had taught me this long time ago. 11th grade, Mr. Infield. I still remember him. He was my history teacher, and he said the only dumb question is the question that was not asked. So if you
Yeah,
don't
I know.
ask a
I've
question,
heard that one before.
worst thing they can tell you is like, no, I'm not going to tell you, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
none of your
but if you
fucking
can
business. I
learn it
get
and you
it.
can improve it and you can help it, sometimes it's a communication that can make your team. A lot of guys got to look at it, man. Listen, if you work for somebody, just don't look at, man, he's the boss, you know, or I'm just the installer,
Oh,
or I'm
definitely
just,
don't do
bottom
that.
end. If you guys work together, man, you guys will build a stronger foundation.
Right.
That's what
Right. And
we got to look at.
that's why I'm glad we got that plotter in, because now he came by today and I was like, hey dude, you need to start coming in here more. These patterns are fucking money. You know, like there's no, because our issue was the old plotter didn't cut good patterns, right? So it was very not cost efficient because I'd have to waste stuff or I'd have to cut it myself, might mess up, you know what I'm saying? Waste management basically. So they invested in this really good plotter. And now I'm like, hey man, this, if you and me are both in here, we can double up. You know what I mean? We can have two cars in here. We could be doing
All right.
two at the
So
same time.
I'm not gonna make last week's mistake. I'm gonna address some people. Johnny, welcome. Alex asks, is this
What's up,
podcast
Johnny?
just on live or on other platforms? I've got this feeding out to Facebook, to YouTube, and Twitch. YouTube is on my channel, Top Tent Service. Twitch, same thing, and same thing on Facebook. On Top 10 Service
I didn't know
page,
you
you
had a
should be able to get to this.
I didn't know you had a Twitch. Nice.
All right, guys. Going back to these comments, you eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yep.
That is so true. Same thing we just been discussing. Next
Yep.
one was don't have to get ready if you're always ready. That is exactly what we kind of started out with. The Vinny's comment is that if you prepare yourself for the future, 3 months,
Yeah.
6 months ahead of time, when time gets tough or a situation comes up that you don't have control over, you can easily attack that and face that and not run into any issues.
Right.
You are freaking awesome, man, for taking time out of your day to help the industry out. Thank you, Samuel, for that comment last week. I
Gotta
appreciate
show
that.
love, man.
We had another one that said, I wish this was in Spanish. I may look that. I am not Spanish. I'm sorry I can't help on that. But if anybody wants to ever collaborate and get on that, man, let's do it.
Hey, get Eliu on here.
All right. Short recap for the late peeps. I missed that last week, Kevin. I'm gonna try to keep on top of that this week, brother. If you're in here. I know Kevin was with me for a while, so he may not come back on in time because I know he had to go home as well. Gold is a great option as well. Platinum can be a bit costly for most new people. So you guys got to know where you're at. Me and Shady, we kind of discussed this a little bit on his finances, and everybody,
Yeah.
you guys can, just because you see the platinum, you can't just, if you're not able to get to that, doesn't mean you try to jump for that. What you need to do is you need to plan for that. Okay. The when you spend something on, you got to know the benefits of what you're getting into. Okay, so if you are looking at gold or you're looking at platinum, yes, platinum may cost more, but if the platinum has more benefits that can overthrow the cost, I go platinum over the gold. I did look at gold and platinum. We'll discuss that in another broadcast. I will not forget that comment, but I think that is a very important one to kind of pay attention to. Guys, you want a car, but you can only afford a used $10,000 car, but you're looking at the 7 Series that costs 140. Let's plan to be in that 7 Series in 3 years, 5 years. Let's get to that level.
Right.
That's what we got to keep on going. Johnny Blade, cash. What is the most common mistake people make with their money? They spend it before they can save it. They spend it before they plan out. That is the most common
But what
problem
if it's
that I see.
but what if you're spending it mostly on necessities though, like the things you need to operate first?
So that's what we're gonna do, a spreadsheet. So we need to write things
Okay.
down. So here's the thing. So everybody says like, man, I'm only spending on my stuff that I really, really need. But you don't realize a lot of little things that you spend money on is something that you can really be conservative on and save. Because if you don't have a saving, again, Dean Mitchell, one of the main reasons why I stepped into this role is because he touched me at the WFR event where he interviewed these 8-year-old girls that wanted to give all their money. I mean, that heart was right, but he's doing Tenor for Cause. He's out there helping out people. If we can improve our people's position, we don't need
Right.
to eventually have Tenor for Cause. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Help them out when you
Right,
can,
of
and
course.
if you can, we all should be helping out. But why not prep our installers, prep our tenors, prep our business owners to have preparations where if there's a financial difficulty that comes your way, that you can address it, you can accomplish it, you can say, hey, I can do it on my own, man, because I have it planned out. That's the biggest thing on any financial platform that you're on. If you look at a bank giving you a loan, what is the bank looking at? Bank is looking at what is the calculated risk of them lending you money. Okay.
Right.
So, that has to be on your own level. If you have yourself set up right, you can go get a loan. Just like I talked about last week, man, me getting a car that was 50 grand. It wasn't about me getting approved for that loan, me getting a good rate on that loan. It was about me dealing with the car about that. When the guy talked to me finance, I'm like, do not talk to me about finance. I want to talk about numbers. Okay. Let's talk about numbers. When I went to finance guy, I said the same thing. Oh, what's more comfortable for you on the payments? Okay, my finances, I'm not going to say this is for everybody, but eventually I want you to get to this point where you say, I don't care about what my payments are. I want to know what I'm paying bottom line. How much interest am I
Right.
going to pay on this vehicle? Okay,
Right.
how much am I paying over MSRP or under MSRP? What's the value I'm going to get out of this car or
Basically,
whatever
like you're
purchase I'm
wanting to
doing?
know what your wasted money is going to be.
Exactly. Because guys,
Yeah.
right now interest rates on houses are so much higher. Okay. So if you got people are looking at it. If you have a $350,000 house and you got it at 2% interest rate when interest was low, the house costs probably about around $2,000. Now, if you get the same house for 350, interest rate is almost at 7%. Guess what? You're paying $3,500 a month for it. That's $1,500 extra.
Jesus.
Where does it go? That's all interest. So,
Yeah, it just
we have
goes
a
to their
comment up
pockets because
here that I'm going to address that
yeah.
somebody had mentioned right here. Quentin said, trick I used to boost credit to take a normal bill payment, split it into two, and make 2 small payments. That is great advice to build credit. But at the same time, Quentin, you're going to pay interest on it. Why pay interest?
Right.
How about we learn to increase our credit without paying interest? Now, if you got to pay interest because you're in the building blocks of your credit, you got to do what you got to do. But if you can
like for me,
you skip it, why not skip it? If you can save money, why not save it? Okay. Jordan said necessities. That's what we're gonna attack today. We're gonna attack our things writing down and figure out what is really a necessity. Because a lot of time we may think it's a necessity, but once you write it down, because when you see it on that sheet and you see it consistently, and you're like, oh man, I'm spending $8 at Starbucks. Shit, I can go to QT and buy the same damn cappuccino for $1.79.
yeah.
Okay.
Or
Or
also
I
just
can
make
go
your own
spend
shit at home.
$30 on the machine and do it at home. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's
So
cost efficient that way.
cost efficiency,
And
once you
then you're
see the
also not
numbers,
wasting gas to go get the fucking coffee, and you're not, wasting time going to coffee, all that stuff, man. I mean, it's just efficiency is all it boils down to. Efficiency and common sense. And a lot of people lack both. So, it's just that
I mean, that's
training
what
you
you
have to
gotta
do to
get to,
get to
brother.
that point. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And the discipline of both of those.
So we had Richard saying that he needed this part in the process to rebuild credit. So that's exactly where we're gonna also attack on. Building credit is, I think, something that would be every week concept for this live stream. Is that we're gonna consistently do some kind of credit building into our weekly stream. Okay, I think credit
Right.
building is the biggest issue for a lot of people, and the more amount of tips and tricks we can get, the better it will be for a lot of us to improve. And I'm always trying to improve myself, always watching that as well. I also put some goals up for myself. Read comments and reply to them as they come in. Johnny gave me some
I mean,
claps. I
I'm gonna tell you
appreciate that,
something.
Johnny.
I will tell you though, like always trying to watch the comments will fuck your train of thought when it comes to lives. So keep with your point and come back to them after you're done with your point. You know what I mean? Because that's what me and Johnny have struggled with sometimes. Like we'll just stop each other in the middle of talking and be like, yo, this dude said this. And I'm like, hey man, hold on. Let me get my point across first. Like it's just one of those things. It's just like you're saying, you're getting used to it. It's just like trying to build their credit. You have to find those steps that you have to go through to get to where you want to go, right? Same concept. Everything in life is basically the same concept. And I call it baby steps. And that's it. You have to take baby steps all your life, even when you're grown. Like you have to take a baby step into this, baby step into that. You can't just people say go all in, and it's like, yeah, you can, but I mean that's when you usually get over your head, you know what I mean? But hey,
Right.
I've got to get off here in 5 minutes because I got dinner and stuff. So I
It's
really
all
do
good, brother. I
appreciate
appreciate you
you.
coming on.
I appreciate you asking me to come on, even though we didn't get to the spreadsheets and the stuff I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to say what you're doing is awesome. And I'm not that savvy in this stuff, so I'm definitely going to have to watch back on this one to see the spreadsheet and stuff like that. And thank you for the talk the other day about building my credit. I'm going to start getting those steps in line just to see if I can do those things. And I hope you have a great rest of the show. I am going to actually jump off here right now because I do smell my meatloaf that's in there. So
You
getting
have a
kind of
great dinner, brother.
hungry.
You have a great night. Thank you so much for
You
coming
too, man.
on.
I appreciate you for doing this for sure.
No problem,
Keep
brother.
it up.
Thank you. Have a great night.
And we'll show too. Don't forget.
All right. Let me know.
See you, dude.
Bye. All right, guys. Alex, well said, Jay. Yes, sir. Definitely. Jordan's got a lot of good points. He's got a lot of good experience. One of my other quirks I'm going to try to fix is saying a lot of ums. I'm going to try not to say a lot of those. Few of my goals is to keep this interesting, simple, usable, and hopefully fun workshop. So we're going to open Google spreadsheets. I'm going to share my page on Google spreadsheet. Hopefully you guys can follow through if you guys want to do it on your own. If anybody wants to come on board, share their comments like Jordan did, or share their screen, or whatever you guys want to do, you are more than welcome to. Just let me know on the chat. I will send you a link for that real quick. You don't have to have this software to come on board. You just have to follow the link. All right, guys. So give me a second while I prep up that screen for you guys to do the Google spreadsheet. All right. So hopefully you guys can see this. All right, guys. So I'm gonna just have you guys go up here, go down to the sheets, click on this. If anybody is following behind, just let me know. We'll stop. We'll recap what we're doing. We're gonna try to keep it today very simple and straight. So you go open up a blank one. First and foremost, I would say title your spreadsheet. So in case you get disconnected, Google is very good at saving right at where you're at. You don't have to consistently save on Google, unlike Excel. You're gonna have to consistently save your work. So if you happen to fall off, you can always go back to it. I am gonna address, can I get a job? Anytime you want to do, Mr. Bilal Ali, you are more than welcome to get a job from me. As long as you can put the work in, you got a job, buddy. All right, guys. So going back to our share sheet, easiest way to do this for me personally is to start with column on the very first one. Put down your let's do this. This is personal expenses. Okay, so we're gonna do personal expenses. I'm gonna save it as that. Then I'm gonna go to the first column and I'm gonna put down name of the bill. Okay. I always skip a line just for the heck of it. I don't know why I do that, but I always skip a line. So for most people, it's going to be mortgage or rent. Okay. We're going to put a few things on. We're going to put water bill, electric bill, phone bill. All right. If you live internet, everybody got to have internet. All right. I'm not going to put bills because, these are all bills. I've got HOA. If you got HOA, put an HOA. Then we go into where if you got cards, put in your cards. So let's say I've got a Citibank, okay? I've got Chase, Discover, American Express, and so on and so on. If you got other stuff like, let's say you've got regular payments or anything that's going on, put those in here. For me, it would be, let's say, life insurance. Okay, I've got a monthly life insurance payments going out. I highly recommend life insurance in case something happens to you, your family is not abandoned, and you can, support them even after you're not there. Then I usually leave few columns open in case I need to add some stuff. You can put down miscellaneous at the very end, and then I would do your total. Okay. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to use the equal sign. We're going to use sum. We're going to use this parenthesis. We're going to drag our from here all the way down to there. And you just put a parenthesis at the end, and that's going to do your sum. This, you can go in here. I'm OCD. So what I like to do is I like to make this into a dollar. So that way, that's what your amount is. So let's say if my rent is $1,500, my water bill for this month was $75, my electric bill was $95, my phone bill is $55, my internet is $35, HOA was $50. I charged up $150 on the city. Chase, I charged up $200. It's the holidays. Discover. If you guys remember my stream from last week, I use all my Amazon stuff on there. Let's say it was $350. American Express, I didn't have anything big, so let's just say it was $50. Life insurance, maybe I'm spending $100 on that. Other expenses could be that you can write down food. You can write down eating out. Food could be groceries. So let's redo that. Let's say that's your um, groceries. Okay, so um, put down groceries as food. Well, eating out, and so on. Let's say we spend $200 on groceries. I don't know why my two does not want to work, but $200 on groceries. We spend maybe $150 eating out. My expense for this month is $3,010 without gas, without fuel or anything else that if I didn't calculate in one of my credit cards, that would be extra stuff. If you ever guys need to add anything once you set this up, you can just click on this here. You can right click it. You can insert a row before or after. So let's say you want to insert a couple rows just in case I want to get that. I forgot to add some stuff. The cool thing with here is that you can always click on this and oh, my bad, guys. I'm sorry. We can't see cash. All we see is the welcome. Sorry about that. I jumped onto that screen. Okay, hold on. Let me do this here. Let me do this here. I apologize, guys. Thank you, whoever was contacting me. Sorry about that. All right. All right. Sorry. All right. So this is, let's say this was for November that just passed away. All right. So I'm going to start back and I apologize. I didn't see this. So I'm going to go back on the comments. Can I get, all right. We can see, all we see is the Google screen, welcome page. We can't see it. Cash, all we see is the welcome. Can't see screen. Okay, guys. Can you guys see the screen now? Is this fine for you guys? You want me to make it bigger? I can get out of it and we can make it bigger. All right. So I'm going to keep it here since nobody has commented on that. But all right. So what I was talking about was write down your up here. So I'm just going to do a quick copy of this and I'm going to open up a fresh one. Okay. Oops. Right. So that way I don't have to write everything down. I'm gonna just do it. Let's go in here. We're gonna go new spreadsheet. Okay. So spreadsheet, you guys, once you're in there, you can always create a new one. As soon as you create a new one, it takes you to a new tab and you cannot see it. So I gotta go in here. I gotta share this one here. Again, guys, I'm still new to this. All right. First and foremost, like I said, guys, put in a title for your spreadsheet, whatever you want to do it. Since I already did personal expenses on the last one, I'm just going to abbreviate on this one here and make it simple. Cool thing again about Google Sheets is that if I disconnect right here, I'll come back. It's going to leave me right where I was. First column is going to be name of your bill. So name of bill. All right. Like I said, you can start here, but I usually skip it. I go to the second column and then I will put in whatever my bills are. So for this, I'm just going to copy what I have put down already. You guys can re-put it. So mortgage, rent, water, electric, personal bill, internet, HOA, your credit cards, your life insurance, your grocery bills, your eating out, miscellaneous. Let's say you donated something or you spent something on that you normally don't do. There's that. There's also a couple columns that you guys can fill out for yourself that you may in the beginning not have thought about, but you can do it. If you ever need to add or delete a column, you can just click on the whole column right there and go insert a row. I'm sorry. You can click on the row and then right click it, insert a row, one above or one below. So I'm going to consistently come back and zoom in if possible. Okay, definitely we'll do that. So let's go into that. I'm not sure if that is better for you guys. I'm gonna take the chats off. All right, guys, hopefully that is better. All right, Dylan, hopefully that is better for you. Alex is perfect. Thank you, Alex, for the comment on that. All right, guys. So again, name of your bill, whatever your bills are, add a miscellaneous in there. Write down what you spend for November. That way you know what you did that. On my spreadsheet, mine looks like same thing, but it has October 2022. It has September. I just write down a little bit. I don't write the whole thing down just for my August and so on and so on. So what happens with that is that a lot of your bills that are consistent, like your income, is going to stay the same, right? The water bill is going to fluctuate when you're taking more showers or less showers, or if you're doing anything else. So let's say 1 month it was 70, the other month it was 85, in August it was 100 since you had a pool and you put some water in the pool, whatever. Electric bill, same thing. It's not always going to be consistent. It's going to be up and down. Electricity, you use less in winter, you use more in summer because you're working that AC. So let's say in October it was 100, in September it was 105, in August it was 115. Phone bill, let's say you're on a Metro PCS, you're consistent, $55. Internet, you're consistent, $35, $35. HOA, my HOA is consistent, so let's put in HOA in here. Citibank, these are going to be your bills that's going to fluctuate every month. This might be something that is consistent. And then same thing with grocery bills. Sometimes you may spend more, sometimes you may spend less, sometimes you may be about the same. Eating out, maybe you conserved, you didn't eat out that much, you went out too much, you went to a party, whatever. Boom. What you can do here is you can actually go hit copy. So if I go right here, I can go and copy this up here by highlighting it and hitting copy. And then I can go here. If I right click it, I don't have to go through all that. It's a shortcut. I can paste it. I apologize. It took me to another screen. The other way you can do is Control V. Okay, guys. So I'm just going to do Control V, which is going to basically paste out what it is. Now, as you see, these totals are a lot less because what we haven't done is we haven't put in our credit card bills. So let's say if I'm just going to try to keep it around the same so you guys can kind of get an idea of what your bills are. Let's say you had, I don't know why this keyboard is not working on it. Every time I get an issue with it. Chase, let's say 150. I'm just gonna do 150 on this one all the way through. Okay, let's do 150, 250, 350 for just for the fun of it. We'll do 100, 200, 300, and 400. All right, so this here kind of gives you an idea of what your monthly expenses are on a consistent base. What I like to do is I like to, as my statement or my bank hits this, I put it in for each month. So for let's say now we're in December, right? So what you guys can do is you can highlight this, right click it, just like we did with the row, we can do it with the column. We can put one to the left of it. So now we're in December. So in December, we're going to do the same thing. All right, so I've already paid my December rent, right? So $1,500. My water bill hasn't come in yet. My electric bill hasn't come in yet. My phone bill's already here. My internet is already here. My AHOA has been already taken out. I paid Discover only so far. Let's say it was again $300. American Express, I haven't paid yet. Life insurance got paid already. I've spent so far and $50 on here. When you have a column like this, food, you can do two things. You can add a sub sheet down here where you can put down, let's say for groceries, you can put down, rename this. Go here, right click it, rename it. This could be your grocery bills, okay? So let's say on 12/1, I went to the grocery store and, well, no, always start with the name, okay? All right, so cost. So here, this is going to look a little bit different. So let's say 12/1, I went to Kroger, okay? So I don't have to put down the date because it's going to be for each month. Kroger, or you can put down Kroger 12/1. Eggs and a few other stuff, and it cost me $35. If you put 35 just like I did, you don't put the dollar sign on it, it's going to show up like that. So what I like to always do, again, guys, is do my total on the bottom. I go back over here, do this sum, parentheses. I'll drag it from up to down here, parentheses. Boom, there's my total. And then because like I said, I'm OCD, so I like to have my dollar sign there. Today is the 5th. Let's see, I went back to another store. Maybe I went to Walmart today, okay? I got a few of the stuff and it cost me $50. So far I'm at $85. Then I can always go back to here. Instead of trying to read just every time, I can just go in and put it here, $85. But if we go down here, we can copy our old formula and we can move it over here. We're at $2,100. But you see there's City that's empty, there's Chase that's empty, there's American Express that's empty, and then there's Eating Out that's empty. Water bill, electric that's empty. This is also one way of keeping on top of your bills. If you keep a good spreadsheet like this, you know that there's a water bill that's coming, there's electric bill that's coming, and then you can also kind of consistently see where you're at. If you have a year or 2 years of this data, you can go right across, you can go right on the bottom, and you can consistently see where you're going. If you're increasing your expenses, if you're decreasing your expenses, and if you see somewhere why am I going up on my Discover? Maybe I need to control my Amazon a little bit better. This is how you figure out everything. Then on the bottom sheets that you do for like food, eating out, whatever, you can put a whole bunch of them here and then you can balance it back off the main sheet. So this can be relabeled as main expense, okay? So this is one way of doing this. Anybody have any questions or comments on this so far? Hey, Matt, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're kind of just gonna we just went over some basic spreadsheet to get our expenses down and figure out how to stay on top of that. Guys, does this make any sense to you guys? Is this helpful at all? Please let me know in the comments. If anybody wants to participate, I'll take participants if you guys want to comment anything on there. Now, anybody that comments in the next 30 seconds, you're gonna get a $25 Apple gift card. 25 seconds. 20 seconds. I'm at 10 seconds left. I don't see no comments yet. I know this is lagged by a few seconds, so I'm gonna give you guys those few extra seconds. 3, 2, 1. Hey Matt, how you doing, man? It's all good, brother. You can always rewatch this. This should be now saved, unlike my last stream where you cannot watch the old one. I guess nobody wanted the Apple gift card, so we'll move on back over here to the spreadsheets. I'm gonna finish up the spreadsheets today. This is pretty much basic on how to do it. If you have any questions, comment. If you want to contact me, contact me. If you want me to redo this next week a little bit faster and in more depth, if you have other questions or concerns, this is one way of doing it. Another thing what we like to do, and I'm just going to do it here just so I don't have to re-share a screen, is let's pretend like this is this sheet is a new sheet. When you get into credit cards and stuff, on credit cards, you guys want to make a spreadsheet for yourself. This one is slightly different than the personal expenses. So what I like to do here on is I like to do my balance. I like to do if it's paid, date paid, date closing, date due. Then I like to do a limit, and I like to see my score. So what's the purpose of this? So let's say you have a Citi card. You have a Chase card. You have a Discover card. You have Amex. Okay, that's for American Express. Well, we can take the same data that we have here. So let's say we're doing it for last month, okay? So on our Citi, we were at 150, right? So our balance was 150. Okay. If it's paid, I would do 150 paid, date paid. Let's say I paid this on the 11/18th. Okay. Date closing was 11/14. Date due was 11/21. My limit on this was, let's say it was $10,000. Okay. And my score on this one, just for the heck of it, let's say my score is 874. But what I do is I put down 874 and I put down who's that score by. So there's 3 credit card companies out there. You got Experian, you got TransUnion, and you got Equifax. Okay. So you always want to write down who that credit score was from and when it was. So I'm going to go back here. Matt, you tried. I got you, brother. It's all good. We all going to try. We're going to try to do better. So let me go back to my screen. I'm going to make this screen a little bit bigger for you guys. Let's switch over, make this one bigger. All right. So this is kind of like what I got on my phone. I keep all my credit cards in one place. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but all my bills are right there. So let's say we're going to go into Discover, right? So I'm going to click on Discover. I do my login. And I'm going to go into, I don't know if you guys can see that. That is my current balance on there and some of my expenses. So once you have credit cards, most of your credit card companies, somewhere or another, they have a FICO score that you always want to keep an eye on. Okay. Check your FICO score. So my FICO score as of right now is 831. But if you look at it, this is from 1031. Okay. So even though we're on December 5th, credit card companies don't always report right away. So you guys want to keep an eye on that. Okay. Then you also want to take a look at how many accounts they're reporting, length of credit, inquiries, revolving. What is my credit I'm actually using? As you can see, I try to keep mine very low to keep the points up when I'm higher in my credit. I'm at 2% of whatever my credit is out there. So we'll talk about that in another. And if I've ever missed any payments. So here, the other thing you're going to look at is based on TransUnion. So this up here tells you that this is based on TransUnion. You can see my credit score from August 824, September 824, October 824, and in November I actually went up to 828. I went up 4 points on this. So hopefully you guys can see that. I'm not sure how good this camera is. I will get a better camera for next stream, hopefully. Somebody already recommended it, but I don't know. I can't see on my screen. But those are the numbers that's on there. So going back to the spreadsheet, if you do this, and for this one, it was TransUnion. So what I would do is, let me just do my current score so that way we don't throw this off. 828, TransUnion. So I just put trans, and I'll put a little date on it that it was on 1031. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my Chase, with my Discover, and my American Express. For quick reference, I'm just going to do this real quick. That the balance is 200. Paid was 150. Paid day was 1122. Closing day was 1116. Due date was 1123. Credit limit on this is $15,000. My score on this is maybe 824. And this is through Equifax. And this was reported as of 11/5. Okay. So same thing with Discover. Let's say it was 350. I paid it 350. I paid it on 11/18. It was closing on 11/14. It was due on 11/21. Credit score on my Discover is $18,000. At 826. But I'm this through Experian. Okay, so Experian, and this was reported also at 1031. American Express, 500, paid 450 of it, paid 1128, 17. Okay, that's what I got put on there. Closing date was 1115. Due date was 1122. And my credit available on it, let's say it's $22,000. And I'm at 826 on this as well. And this is also through Equifax, okay, just for the heck of it. This was reported on 11/10. So what happens right here is that this gives you an idea of where your credit card balance is, what your what you paid, when it's due, when it's closing, what is the due dates, what's your limit. And if you do this every month, what I do once I did this is I will do this for, let's say this is for November 2022. Okay, I would have something similar just like this down here, one column down. This would have been October 22. And as we come into the next month, what I would do here is I would just copy. I would insert rows above it. And unfortunately, on Sheets, you'll have to do this individually. On Google Chrome, you can usually put in more. Expel, you can usually, okay, insert 3. Okay, so let's say right here. Oops, I didn't put enough. So I gotta do 3 more. Okay, all right. So, boom. So let's say this would be your December. December 2022. Easiest way to do that would be you can delete it, or I would just copy. Actually, I would just copy this part and I would have this part emptied. So that way, as you get it filled out, I would do that. Okay, I would just copy this part and that part for my next month, and as I'm paying it, I would fill that information out. The reason for that is your credit limit sometimes may change. Your credit score should always be consistent. It's going to fluctuate by a couple points, but you want to make sure that your Equifax, your TransUnion, and your Experian are almost same, or what the average is. Sometimes you may be off by 20 or 30 points. That may be because one of the credit card is not reporting as much as some of the other ones. Matt says, mine sucks because I haven't borrowed any money in over 20 years. So we discussed this in last week's stream, guys, is if you're going to be in the US and you want to do anything, whether it's personal or business, you have to have credit. I made a big mistake on this early in my years that I followed my father's way of doing cash. It bit my father on the butt. It bit me on the butt. I also let my credit slip and not pay attention to my credit report and let stuff go into collection. Collection is going to screw you up real bad, real fast. You'll take forever to build that credit and it'll drop real quick if you don't pay attention to it. I recommend looking at your credit score at least once a week, if not every other week. Do not wait a full month to look at your credit, because if there's something that is happening, you want to address it right away so that it does not affect you. Most credit report agencies have some kind of communication where you can contact them and dispute if it is not an accurate credit issue. The other part that you want to stay on top of is to say something does slip. You want to get on top of it and rectify it right away, because the more it stays on your credit, the more it's going to hurt you. If you miss a payment here, maybe once every 2 years, it's not going to hurt you as much if you miss 3 payments in a row. That is going to take your score down really bad. We're at the 1 hour mark, guys. I am sorry that I did not put that much time into covering my last week's recap. Hopefully next week we'll do a little bit better. We'll focus more on the credit reports. Somebody had asked about buying houses. I'm in contact with a few other people that are financially specialists. So we'll try to bring on a mortgage guy. We're in talks of bringing somebody that is tax specialist in 2 weeks. That is going to happen here, same time, Monday, 7 p.m. So as we wrap up 2022, this guy can hopefully give you some tips and tricks on how to prepare for your taxes. So when January comes, you're able to capitalize on your taxes and not pay a lot of your taxes. Before we go, Tender Battles is happening in January. Somebody had mentioned that their ticket is $250 and that's too expensive. I'm going to do a real quick spreadsheet on it because we're talking about spreadsheets today. But first, I'm going to play a quick video of theirs for what they got going on. So give me 1 second here.
Here's question. What's better, two-staging or bottom loading? Heat gun or torch? Maybe it needs its own competition. Okay, and some energy. That helps. But what it really needs is simple rules. My fellow Americans, not those kinds of rules.
So I can two-stage or bottom load?
Yes,
What about my torch?
that too, but why stop there? What if this competition was held in a world-class island resort? Plus, trainings and business masterclasses with the industry's top leaders today. Seriously, can you do that?
Yeah, it's Tinter Battles, and it's in January to kick off 2023 to be your best year ever!
That is an experience, but it feels like it needs one more. Oh, you. Family-friendly Tinteractions, Tintertainment, Tinter Battles 2023, where your ticket is your entry to the getaway of a lifetime. See you there.
All right, guys. So we're back. So somebody asked me about this, and they said, "Hey, man, he wants to charge $250. That's a little bit too much." So if you're in this industry, you got to realize you got to invest to grow. If you're gonna invest properly, is $250 too much for Tinter Battles? So what they're providing for you guys, and I'm attending, and I'm gonna go spend it. And if it's not what it is, I will report back on this. I am not getting paid for this advertisement or this suggestion. This is just me for, again, helping out the guys. Get out there, go network. Anybody that's been to any of these events, whether you've been to a WFR, whether you go to SEMA, whether you go to Tender Battles or any of the other conferences that are held, conferences are a great way to learn and connect and network and figure out what's going to happen in the future, how you can improve yourself, how you can improve your business, whether you're an installer, whether you're in the business. I always recommend it because you can improve your skills as an installer. You can figure out new tips and tricks. They're going to offer a whole bunch of stuff, including professional trainers that's going to be out there. Autofilm Mastery is going to be out there. They're also providing the basic necessity of dinner Thursday night, breakfast, lunch, and dinner Friday and Saturday. And then they're going to finish it off with goodbye, farewell on Sunday morning. That's another breakfast. Breakfast at most places I go to, especially this is a good size hotel. It's a resort. So resorts are never less than, I would say, 25 to 30 bucks. So on average, I was at the Bellagio. I paid $54 a person for breakfast over there. They were pricey. So if you want to figure out what your cost is, let's say you do this on the low end, $25. You got, I'm sorry, that's a dinner. So dinner is going to be like close to 40 bucks. Okay, breakfast 25, lunch is, let's say, 35, and another dinner is 40. Well, you got two of those happening for Friday and Saturday. And then you got the farewell breakfast on the next morning. So that's 25. Let's do a quick sum up on what this is. Is this anywhere near our 250 mark? I don't know. So just in the food essentials, you're getting more than what you're paying for that trip. Not to include a Autofilm Mastery, which I paid $1,000 to attend at SEMA. Not to mention the training, which can be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 for these master trainers to train you guys. And they're going to have a whole bunch of different film company trainers, not anybody specific, but they're going to have a whole bunch of different people so you can get different kind of trainings. On top of that, they're going to have free drinks for you guys for all this stuff. So is it worth the $250? I said just off the food, hell yeah. How true that is, I will let you know after I attend it in January. I also recommend anybody else that's out there in this industry, I would recommend that you go out there and you attend it. Hopefully you gain something out of it as well too. Hey, I want to offer promotions of your channel, viewers, followers, chat bots. The price is lower than any competitor. The blah, 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 flexible. This looks like a bot or whatever. I hate this, man. If you're not real, get out of my stream. All right. Can't wait to attend one myself. Yes, sir. Again, It's in January 5th to 8th. That was Carlos. He's the brains behind it. There are a whole bunch of people that's involved. Tender for a Cause. I don't have any clips for them. I always recommend, especially this time of a year, guys, if you guys can help out, if you got charities, help out your fellow people out there. Tender for a Cause is having a couple different events happening. So check them out. Help them out if you can. And let's help each other out and let's grow. If you guys got any comments or anything that you can suggest for next week, let me know. Hopefully we can do a better show next week. I will try to stay more on focus. This week was also a lot of learning. I'm going to keep on learning next week, and we'll do a little bit better. And we'll focus more on credit score next week. I think our goal is going to be credit score, and we'll touch back on some of these spreadsheets if you guys want to do the spreadsheets. Any farewell questions, suggestions? All right, so I know, man. That's why I'm not trying to put it. There's a lot of knowledge to soak up. That's why I'm not trying to overthrow stuff in. Now, I only see a few people on the board, so 1 to 10. If somebody can guess the number in my head right now, you get a $25 for Bet and Beyond. Dylan, thank you, bro. No, sir. Thank you for attending. Hopefully we can help each other out, man. That's all we're doing. We're trying to help each other out. I'm not trying to gain anything out of this other than just help out and just feel better that I'm helping people. 1 to 10. Who's got Bet and Beyond? 1. Nope. Four. Nope. It's anybody's game. I don't care if you're my daughter. If you're on here, I'm going to give it to you. Matt, it is 7. You got it, my friend. Bet and Beyond goes to Matt. You got 7. All right. One more. We got a California Kitchen. All right. I'm going to do 21 to 29. Real quick, guys. Let's go. All right, guys, come on, make it quick. I need some numbers here. Alex says 26. Nope. Also, only one person can win per stream. So don't, Matt, thank you, buddy, for playing. Thank you for coming and attending this. Hopefully, I've been helpful to you guys, and we can keep on going and improve more our financials. Dylan, it is not 23. Alex, no, sir. Alex, 25 it is. You got it, my friend. Alex got California Kitchen. You guys have a great day, great night, and we will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys.